Hello friends and enemies, welcome to We're Back to Happy for Not to Be Isabel here with my 30 and 30 vlog. Listen, I have no idea how or when or how this is getting broken up. You might just get one giant vlog at the end of the month. Because I'm planning to read so many series, I figured if I read them together, it makes a lot of sense. But here we are. It is time to discuss what I read so far on day one. 30 and 30 literally just kicked off. It is 2 o'clock on Wednesday, April 1st. And I've already finished 2 series and I've read 4 volumes. So we are in good shape here. So I did read volumes 12 and 13 of My Senpai is Annoying. This is a perfect, fantastic conclusion. We wrapped up everyone's romances in this so well. So well. Oh, I loved it. I'm very, very happy this is not leaving my collection anytime soon, and I very well may reread the entire thing at some point. So if you haven't read this and you're curious what it's about, basically we have 2 co-workers. He is her elder at work, obviously. Maybe not. She's really tiny. He's kind of big. So we got the fun size difference happening, but they end up developing a relationship slowly over 13 volumes. We also watch another couple develop a relationship over 13 volumes that is just really sweet and fun. But yeah, I think the way this all played out was just really fun and great. And there's also, it's in full color, so that's like kind of a nice change of pace. Also helps justify the price point of $14.99 a little more for these later volumes. I don't know if it was $14.99 when I started it, but yeah, I really liked this. They really just have a fun dynamic together, and I think it's really cutesy. Very slice of life. It's not a series I'm gonna say like marathon the whole thing, but you could read a handful of volumes a day and get through the whole series pretty quickly. But adorableness. Then I read After We Gazed at the Starry Sky volume 3. This is the finale of a BL series trilogy. Our hero, this one, is in a wheelchair, and the other one is a photographer. He photographs the night sky specifically and like takes all these trips to do so, and it's their romance. It is so sweet, and the way volume 3 wrapped up surprised me a lot. I don't want to say too much, but I was very surprised at the end of the day when I finished volume 3. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, we have 3 5-star reads here. And then we have Winter Wolf volume 2 by Ruby Shea. The original novel is by Ruby Shea. This is the graphic adaptation. This came out last month, so I was really excited to dive in and read it now. Basically, they've been snowed in together at this house that they're kind of taking shelter at, and they spend a lot of that banging. I can tell you right out, flat out, the beginning part of this is a lot of banging. Then someone else shows up, and our heroine, Liz, kind of saves him, and Taryn, our hero, is not thrilled about her decision to save this person and what he does, so there's that. She basically can't allow him to do it, so a lot of things are put on the line here. There's a lot of tension happening. I really liked it. I would say it ends just like volume 1 did, in a slight cliffhanger situation. So we're also learning more about this weird manor they're in. So yeah, I gave this like a 4. I really liked it. I really love the art in this. It is beautiful art, but it is super explicit. So do not probably read this in public or anywhere someone could look over your shoulder. But that's 4 volumes down for day 1 of 30 and 30, which feels fantastic, to be honest with you. I don't know that I'll be reading anything else today, so we'll leave it there for day 1, but I'll be back to talk to y'all soon when I've read some more. I kind of already pulled what I think I'm reading tomorrow, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, so I need to update you on day 2 because we are currently on track for 90 and 30, which that track record will not hold. I need to note that is not the pace that we will keep, but 3 more volumes down yesterday, and those 3 volumes were Choking on Love volumes 2, 3, and 4, which is great, but also sad. I'm kind of really sad, to be honest with you, that I am going to be caught up until the May release for volume 5. The way volume 4 ended, we have some reveals about her childhood friend who we meet early on, and I'm really curious to see how that all unfolds in the next few volumes. So that's the main reason I'm most sad about it, but we have great continued progression of our main couple and their romance. Our heroine, Hibari, is like working on her confidence, and I really have enjoyed that aspect of this as well. I've enjoyed the college setting at an art school a lot. It's just been really fun, and our boyfriend is wild child, and that's really entertaining to read. Sounds like a nightmare, but it's very entertaining to read. So I've loved all of these. I've given them all like 4.5, 5 stars, so that's the good news. Anyways, I'm going to go change, and then I'll update you on today, which is day 3 of 30 and 30. So I will have read 3 more by the time I update you again in a bit, but it's pajama time, so I'll talk to you soon. Okay, day 3. I am more than on track for 60 and 30 right now. Will that hold? I don't know. I really don't know if this is gonna hold as far as like staying the pace. I read volumes, these are backwards, 3, 4, and 5 of Firefly Wedding, and I continue to enjoy this. I love how obsessed our hero Shinpei is, and Satoko, is that her name? I don't know. Anyways, I love the obsession and the reveals we have here. This continues to be really engaging as a read, so I'm having fun, and that's really all I care about right now, is that I'm having fun, right? But yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot. I think this has been very enjoyable to read and to go on the journey. I know the ending is not the best necessarily, and I'm okay with that. I have not spoiled myself on it, but I think I'll be okay. Shay, I think, spoiled herself and said she's fine with it, so I feel like we usually align. But yeah, I enjoyed this. We got some really interesting plot movement around our heroine and like why these people were sent after her to kill her. And we also got some movement around this childhood friend's bodyguard situation. So I really enjoyed it for today. I cannot believe it's day 3. I'm 10 volumes in. And I feel like this is when I get that momentum, and then like at the end of the month it's a struggle. So I'm happy to have the momentum and to technically, I guess, be on track for 90 and 30, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, I'm gonna go browse my manga and pick out something else to read today, or for tomorrow. I need to update you for the 30 and 30 vlog because I haven't done that in a minute, and I'm up to 21 volumes. So I haven't read a ton because this is the time when Shay's here. So I'm gonna speed run you through these because honestly, that's just what's gonna have to happen. 13. So my 13th volume read was Pink Heart Jam 2. That finishes that series. I think I'm unhauling it. I liked it enough, but I don't love it. I don't think I would reread it ever. So that's leaving my collection. And then I read Assassin and Cinderella's volume 2 and 3. I'm loving these. These continue to be two idiots in love. She is a spy, he is an assassin. The entire goal is to weaponize her against him for reasons that we find out in volume 3, actually, so the newest volume. This has continued to be a really fun Stevie time. It is a little ecchi in content, so that may not work for everyone, but I really enjoyed it, and I just think it's a very like silly plot because she's not the smartest spy, but they also tend to send her with old people, which I think is a really interesting setup for this like busty hot girl that they're like, you need to be the old people spy. So I think that's very silly and fun. Then I read Usotoki Rhetoric volume 5, which pulls that off of my unreads. I loved volume 5. I'm now current on the series for what I own. The series ends at volume 10 though, and I really loved our continuation here. They've done a really good job each volume, I feel like, wrapping up the plot of the story, like of the cases they're solving. We haven't really had any like run into a new volume, and I've really enjoyed that. Next we have My Instructor Won't Yield. This is a fantastic BL standalone. He learns to drive so he can take his cat to the vet, and our instructor is someone he's met at his prior job before he became a mangaka, and it's their situation, and it's very, very cute and sweet, and I really loved it. And then I read Titan's Bride volume 8 and adored this. I think the plot is starting to wrap up here, which is really, really nice, and I feel like it's giving exactly what I want, but I'm curious to see how many more we have. I think we checked it and I already forgot. And then last but not least, I borrowed 3 volumes from Shay because we both be obsessed with this one, and that is The Trapped Former Villainess Wants to Escape from the Sadistic Prince. So I read 2 through 4, and I'm actually putting this on my list to pick up for myself at some point, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. This developed a lot differently in volume 2 than I ever expected. I made Shay like immediately read volume 1 upon getting here so we could discuss, because I was like, I'm really intrigued by this. And she was also like, okay, yeah, we need to get more. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'll read it. If you buy it, or if I buy it, you can read it. So we just did our usual swapperoo because we're together. And this ended up being like such a surprise. I'm still kind of shocked how much I liked this. Our heroine is isekai'd into another world, of course, and then she doesn't know the full rules of the world or all these things, so she's kind of trying to navigate that. Our prince has figured out that she's not the original Anna Lee and keeps calling her Anna, and it's their romance, his sadistic tendencies, and her figuring out things about the world and rules and all these things. And we meet another character in volume 3, and in volume 4 we meet someone else who also has been isekai'd into the world, and that's been gonna be really interesting where that unfolds. This is heavy on the smut. You're not gonna wanna read this in public. It does have some plot though. I cannot call this porn with no plot.
There is plot.
There is actually plot happening. For the amount of sex in this, the amount of plot is kind of surprising. So there's that. But I loved this and I'm very excited to read more. I mean, I gave volume 1 3 stars and every other one 4. So I don't know how else to sell you on this series. But I second this. That's your 30 and 30 check-in. I have to update you because I read more manga and not updated you. I'm still sick, which you know if you've watched my Love of the Night vlog. But I read 4 volumes since we last chatted. I read Bride of the Death God Volume 2, which gave a huge twist that I did not expect. The twist has me even more excited for Volume 3 because I didn't think this was where we were headed, to be honest with you. And it's kind of opened up the plot a lot, in my opinion. So there's that. And then for Volume 24, I'm getting my face cleaned. A lot. Okay. I read The Tea Ceremony, Master's Rich and Steamy Service, Spoiled by His Skillful Hands. This is a standalone, which I thought was a series. That's on me. I just didn't notice that there was no Volume 1 on it. So this is a complete story in one. It was good. It was good. It was fine. It was fine, really. I shouldn't say it was good. It was fine. It delivered a fun little story that I think I would have liked fleshed out a little bit longer than 1 volume at the end of the day, which is often my struggle with some standalones. This isn't uncommon for me to feel like I wish there was a little more to something. And this definitely had that to it. I really wish we got like 2 or 3 more. I think at 3 or 4 would have been nice. Basically, she hooks up with this guy. She doesn't realize it's someone she knew from her childhood. And he kind of asks for her family to match them. So it was fun. It was fine. She was like a virgin, you know, hadn't really dated sort of thing. We're back again. I just put her back because she didn't want to be held, but she wants to be by me. Okay. And then last but not least, I finished Seduced by the Demon King Volume 4. So that actually was great because that brings up my completed series for the year. I realized that I need to actually track that one on my spreadsheet because that means I wouldn't have it marked. That brings up my finished manga for the year because that's another manga I finished this year. So that feels freaking great. I really enjoyed this conclusion and I think overall it was a fun time. I thought the story wrapped up nicely. It made sense. It worked. It didn't feel overdone or overly stretched out for the story. So I think that part really worked well for me, personally at least. So that was really nice. And I'm really, really happy I read it. I had a good time. I had a very good time with it. I'm sorry. This is how you're getting this update apparently because someone is in need of love. Yeah, so I thought this wrapped up the story really nicely on the reincarnation and their romance. And we actually get like a really good conclusion to her being reincarnated all the time. And I really, really liked that a lot. Like I thought that was super nice to get. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm ahead of schedule. It is the 17th of April as I update you right now and I'm 25 volumes in. So that's a win in my opinion. And I would still like to hit 45, maybe 60. I don't know that I'll hit 60, but I would like to hit a few more. I know that by the 20th, I will have 30 read. So we'll see how much more I can read between that and the end of the month. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I will be back to talk to y'all soon. Okay, I have a update for you because I have read 4 more volumes and I was traveling, so I didn't update you. I read another demon book, which is The Demon King is Way Too Overprotective, Volume 2. I really like this. This one is more shoujo, high school setting. It is a high school setting. He's a demon. She and him are like attracted to each other, mated, whatever. And her friend doesn't like it. This other guy doesn't like it and is trying to interfere. And he's very protective of her. It's very cute. It's very sweet. A little spicy. They're not like boning, but like we have some pretty heavy kissing scenes in this that I was a little surprised by in Volume 2. Also loved this one. Again, they're very different. Similar but different vibes here. But yeah, I really loved this. And I thought this was also a great continuation. I'm excited for Volume 3. And then my biggest surprise was Magical Girl Dandelion Volume 1 I read. And I freaking loved this. I'm really excited. Volume 2 comes out in June and I will be at the bookstore the day it releases or the weekend before in hopes I can grab it. But I freaking loved Volume 1. This was so, so good. This is a magical girl story. Her family is murdered, and this shadow fiend basically takes her in that murdered them or was there when it happened kind of situation. And she ends up awakening as a magical girl, and he's like, you can't do this. We can't do this because, like, we're enemies. And she thinks he's good, and he's not good necessarily. Yeah, it's them navigating that situation. And I'm very, very, very curious to see where we go in volume 2. This is just definitely a little bit darker, and I like that. I think magical girl books should be kind of a little darker because I do think the whole magical girl setup is like kind of depressing in a way, you know? But yeah, I freaking loved that. The other thing I read is from Kindle Unlimited checkout, which was A Kiss with a Cat, Volume 1. Shay was talking about this. We're getting an omnibus release of this series, so I wanted to go ahead and give Volume 1 a try, and I liked it. I thought this was really cute. This is another shoujo. She ends up taking in this cat. She loves cats. She ends up taking up this cat who happens to also be a boy who transforms like into a cat. So if she kisses him or like their faces touch, he turns into a boy or a cat depending on the situation. And it's their dynamic. It's very cute. I'm going to definitely give volume 2, like I'm going to read the rest of it digitally for sure and see what I think. Either 2 and 3 are in KU. One of that, like half of it basically is in KU. So I'm going to read it that way. And then I think the rest is, I can get through my libraries potentially. So I will end up reading this digitally before I make any choices on owning the omnibus. But for now, I don't know, I had a good time. So that does put me at 28 volumes read for 30 and 30 so far, which is great. I only have 2 more left to hit my goal. It is the 28th, so we will be there soon, and you will just be getting updates as I read manga the next couple days, so I'm excited. All right, I'll be back soon. Hello, I'm here to wrap up 30 and 30 reading. I read 31 volumes. 31 volumes! I'm very happy with this. I had a busy month. Well, your mouth is wet. Why is your mouth wet? I've got a Millie. Come on. So I read 31 volumes total. I've got to wrap you up on those 31 volumes that I read though, because I haven't talked to you since then. Millie said, all right. So I read Hitting Rewind with You Volume 2, which came in this month, and loved it. This was fantastic. We continue our little, like, we're not dating, but we're kind of feeling things out vibes here, which I'm really enjoying for our 2 college students. This had a great dynamic. I just continue to love them. But yeah, she's starting to develop feelings for him, and we're kind of exploring that. And it was a nice volume 2. Then I read A Silent Voice Volume 1 because one of the people in Discord for 30 and 30, J Baby, was talking about how annoying the hero was in this. And I was like, well, it's in KU, it's on Kobo Plus, I'll try it. I gave that 3 stars. And I buddy read it with one of my members, and I was like, I don't know if I'll continue. And they were like, well, you can read a couple more. There's a lot of growth that does happen in the first 3 volumes. So I may at some point, but like that boy who is just the world's biggest bully in the world and like terrible to this girl who is deaf and like kind of thinks she's faking it. No, I was so annoyed. And it's not that I think couldn't be a good story. I'm sure he grows and evolves and learns, but I was just like annoyed. The entire time I read it, I was like, I just want to kick you. And I should not want to kick a child in elementary school, but my God, do I want to kick you. So there's that. And the teacher. I also wanted to kick the teacher. But yeah. So I'm not sure yet what I'll do with that. And then last but not least, one of y'all requested that I try Marriage of Convenience. And because I'd hauled it and we're like, I'm really curious to see what you think. And this is the 31st thing I read this month. And I liked this. I thought this was a solid first volume. Now, there's an age gap. I'm not sure the exact age gap here. He is older. They get married when she's 9. And I am assuming he is 18 at least. Nothing happens. Like, he refuses to do anything with her in any capacity, even now as she's 18. So keep that in mind. But basically, she ends up dead, reincarnated back into her life, and is changing the course of that life. And I really liked it. I thought this was really fun. Overall, this is like a very interesting story. It is long. This is a big one. This one was like 300 pages or something, which felt pretty long for a manhwa. It was like 12 chapters. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, I really, really, really liked this. I would love to pick up the next 2 volumes soon, but I need to read other things I own first. So probably the next triple stamp sale, I may pick up volumes 2 and 3. And I felt like it was well worth my $20. So there's that. Like, that makes it easy because it is a thick book. But yeah, I really like this. So our Countess Bianca is basically like infamous for being like a recluse and like hiding in her room and kind of mean. And in this reincarnation, she's like, I have to change the course of my life so that I don't end up where I was. And she's doing that. And she's making great strides to make these changes, in my opinion. Really, really intrigued to see where this goes as we continue forth. But that is it. Those are the 31 manga and manhwa volumes I read for 30 and 30. I'm sad I didn't get more in. But with the amount of travel I had, the amount of just not being home I had, I don't think I did bad. Like, I think I did pretty good. I definitely hauled more this month than I read, but my read what you own was still not terrible overall at the same time with everything else I read. So yeah, I'm hoping to see myself read a good chunk in May and June and July as the year continues, obviously, because that's what we need to do. But yeah, this was nice. I feel like this kind of got my manga reading groove back a little bit more, so that's good. I'm also just excited for our next round. I feel like I'll probably hit the ground running a lot harder on that one than I did in April's, which will be nice. But yeah, so these are my stats. I'm just gonna put numbers up here on a graphic for you. 31 volumes, I don't know, however many pages that says. So that feels pretty good to me. I think that was a win overall. And I did finish a couple series and I read a standalone. Like we made some progress here. So that's the really good news. But yeah, I would love to know how your 30 and 30 went. Did you have any highlights or lows of your reading? Let me know down below. Okay, if you don't do that, you can leave me a doggy emoji or a cow. Millie is in her cow bed right now and very upset that I'm not seated how she can sit with me, which fair, you know, life is rough when you are a Millie. But yeah, you can do that down below. I will have links to all the manga for you down there, links to my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we will.